This is the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top-performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia tri-state area. Each week, your host, W.G. Bunch, and his guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Huntington Tri-State area. That's Huntington, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, and the Chesapeake and Proctorville, Ohio areas. If you used to live here or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's WG.
Hey, what's happening? What's going on? Hello. Here we are. There you are. And welcome to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. I'm your host, WG Bunch, and today we are talking about it's iconic is kind of the only name that comes to me as far as the restaurants of the Huntington Tri-State area. We're talking about that place that was there on 8th Street and 9th Avenue. That place on 1st Street. Remember the place that was open 24 hours? Oh, I know you went there. The place that is still open in St. Albans, doing the king burgers and the steak sandwiches. Yes, it starts with the D. You know what it is. We all know it, love it. Today we're talking Dwight's. Before I get to our guests, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Realty Exchange, the #1 real estate company in the Huntington Tri-State area. Nobody sells more real estate, commercial, residential, multifamily, renting, buying. Go to realty-ex.com. That's the website. There are links all over the place that you can click on. Thanks to Realty Exchange for sponsoring this episode. Let's get into Dwight's. I have got I guess legacy. I think that'd be a good term. Guy I went to high school with, who I always admired because he was one of the few that never took my lunch money. So I've got Mr. Dave Messigner on the phone. Dave, what is happening, my friend?
Hey, WG, how you doing, man? Nice to talk to you today.
Where are you beaming in from? Where are you located these days?
I'm in Richmond Hill, Georgia, near Savannah, Georgia, I-95.
And you are still carrying the restaurant flag as far as still doing the restaurant thing. Tell us what you're doing.
Somebody has to pick it up and keep marching along. And I'm Perkins. We've got a Perkins restaurant right here in Savannah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Okay,
been here for 22 years.
Really? Is it?
Yeah.
And it's been Perkins all 22 years.
It is, in fact. It's Perkins. That's Perkins family restaurant. It's a franchise.
That's
very similar to Dwight's menu and family restaurant. It's gonna same thing. It's like a Bob Evans and IHOP, Denny's.
Haven't been to that location, but I've certainly been to Perkins before, and that's great. That's awesome.
After we closed. Dwight's of 8th Street, the final, and that closed up, and then the family ended up opening a Perkins franchise restaurant in Summerville, South Carolina, and that was in 1996.
Okay, and so that's where you went in 96.
Yeah, I had been at Dwight's of St. Albans, and of course I grew up at Dwight's of 8th Street. I mean, along with my dad and the whole family.
Now, when was the last time that you were back here in the Huntington area?
A couple of years ago. It's been a couple of years now. We used to go back more often, but I was there a couple of years ago for my father-in-law's funeral. Unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry. He
was a good man.
Well, when you come back. And hopefully next time you come back, it won't be for circumstances like that. Do you?
Yeah, hopefully.
Do you ever just pull up to one of the old locations? And I mean, obviously, there's a bank where 8th Street, 9th Avenue is. Now, 1st Street is still, I think it's just a vacant lot, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think
last time I saw it, it was a vacant lot, and yeah, I can't drive by those corners for sure without a flood of memories coming by. No doubt. I mean, that was our lives. I mean, I literally grew up at the big extended Dwight's family.
And now tell me about the St. Albans location. Is that Mike is your cousin, your brother, your
Mike in St. Albans is my uncle. That's Dwight's youngest son. He had there was 3 sons. They all came into the business with him. David, that's my dad, and Rodney and Mike. And
okay.
Pam worked at the restaurants too. It was a big. Everybody was in the business together. 8th Street, 1st Street, and then of course there was the Dwight's Steak and Kettle that opened in '75 down in the West End.
And so St. Albans is still, alive and kicking, and like I said, doing the King burgers and all that stuff. So hey, if anybody is out there and you are having you're jonesing, you need a fix, that steak sandwich, they're doing it in St. Albans. Get in your car and get over there, folks.
The Husky steak sandwich. They're carrying the mantle.
That my mom's favorite. What was the name of the fish sandwich, or what? It was like the Big Catcher, or it had some name.
I think we just called it the fillet of fish. What we call?
Are you sure you didn't work at a McDonald's? Did you work at a McDonald's fillet of fish? I don't think it was a fillet of fish.
No, it wasn't fillet o fish. It was fillet of fish.
Oh.
You actually had the F in there.
That way you didn't get sued by the Crocs. I got you.
Right, exactly.
Nicely
You got to
played.
always watch out for legal.
Nicely played. So, all right. So you said you.
Yeah. My dad said we only had a fish sandwich on there just for the halibut.
Bud, hold on. I've got a sound effect.
He had that up on the marquee one time. Yeah. What foods these morsels be?
Is your dad there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Big Dave's here.
Oh,
yeah,
can you put us on speakerphone or something where we can get him involved? That'd be awesome.
Oh, Big Dave, come over here. Wait. We're talking about Dwight's of 8th Street.
Well, that's good. It was there 30-some years, 32, I believe.
Well, the big reason why we're talking about it is in 1986, I actually walked out on a check. It was $12.40. I was with a date, and I did not have any money. So
many people did, and you can be forgiven. We forgive you.
I have never felt this is a religious experience right now. Whoo! You want to talk about? Oh my gosh!
David Bunch's son.
Are you related to Dave Bunch? WG?
Well, okay. There's David and there's Bill. Which one do you and Fred? But which one do you like the best?
Well, I only really knew Bill a little bit.
Bill's my dad.
Very famous Huntington family.
Yeah, Bill's my dad. But if you like David better, then I could be his son. I'll let you choose.
Right.
Oh, my dad's going to hear this and go, "Oh, really?" So, no, I'm just. Hey, Dad, I'm just kidding. Come on, let's not. You don't have to go change the will. All right, so, all right, so we're talking. Yeah, all right. So we're talking Dwight's. Tell me a little bit about when it first opened in the '60s. It
opened in August of '63.
And that was not the first. Your family had some history with doing restaurants, correct?
Yes, absolutely. My dad's father-in-law, my grandfather, was Benny Adkins. Well, I could tell people all the time my grandfather was Benjamin Franklin. Adkins.
Yeah, his name was Benjamin Franklin Adkins.
And everybody called him Benny. And he owned the Fat Boy restaurants. The one on First Street originally when it opened was Fat Boy. Adkins Fat Boy.
Okay.
But it would open as the Fat Boy. Bob Childers opened it and had it about a year, and my granddad bought it from him. But anyway, that's where it all started. And then at one point, he had about 6 units, some in Parkersburg, 4 in Huntington.
Yeah, Benny had those.
And then,
Right.
And then when my dad closed the Fat Boy on Boulevard at 16th Street, when they put in the interchange, that was
that's
down.
It's now it's where the Baskin Robbins is now.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Where they put the access highway there at Baskin Robbins.
Now I know exactly where you are. Okay.
Yeah, so it was on the other side, and they condemned the property, and we didn't own it. It was just a lease. So he tore down houses there, bought houses, and built Dwight's on the corner there, and then decided to call it Dwight's instead of Vegas Fat Boy. But yeah, our history goes clear back to '48, and that's when my granddad got in the restaurant business over in Chesapeake, Ohio.
Yeah, he's the one that caused all this misery.
Now, in the '60s, I've seen all the movies and the TV shows, American Graffiti and all that stuff. In the '60s, when 8th Street was first getting going and really becoming the
hangout.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you on the weekends, and that when in the late '60s, when they lowered to 18 so they could drink, kids started going to Dino's where they could get beer. But before then, on the weekends, we even had to have a policeman because Huntington teenagers loved hanging out at Dwight's.
But you could eat in your car, or you could go into the restaurant, correct?
Oh, that's right, absolutely.
What percentage of the people ate in their car compared to the people who parked and came in, if you had to guess?
Well, I'd say first, the drive-in was maybe half and half. It diminished as drive-ins.
Yeah, it was really 50-50 at the beginning. Wow.
Well, the curb was a lot busier when it first opened, and people were still liking to go to drive-ins.
Yeah.
We had the canopy, so they could get in the shade or out of the rain and still eat in their car. And
but I can attest to the fact that as the years went by, that percentage went down.
That's right.
As you went through the 70s and into the early 80s, the percentage of people eating outside went down into about into the teens.
Probably down to about 20% or so.
I would guess air conditioning probably had something to do with it. The fact that somebody finally went, why are we sitting in this hot ass car when they've got a dining room right there? We could just walk right in there and have this. Well, did you ever have? Because I still have not found this place. I see it in movies all the time. Did you ever have servers that had roller skates on?
No, not at our store.
Is that just in the movies? Did that happen anywhere?
Oh, sure, it still does at Sonic. Sonic, I think, started that. That's a chain that started in Oklahoma. They have them all over the country now. Sonics, you've been to them.
Oh.
Some of them do roller skates, and it's optional. But
I heard recently that Sonic was, and this is God's honest truth, if you were willing to put on roller skates and working at a Sonic in 2022, they were paying you more. I'm not exactly sure how much more, but they were paying more if you were willing to skate.
Well, good.
There were some other requisites too, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Sonic.
Insurance, I think, put a crunch on it at some point, but
I think some people, like, if they insisted on putting on skates, they actually paid them less.
Yeah. See, I went to Sonic a couple weeks ago.
Do it at some places and not Sonic's.
Yeah, I would guess that because I don't remember seeing anybody on skates, but that would be it. Just I think people kind of have that picture of, especially back in the '60s. All the girls wore skates and they could skate backwards and forwards, and happy days and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I was wondering about that. Now, I don't know how long it's been. 20 years, 15 years ago. Of course, when the We Are Marshall movie came out,
Right. Yeah.
We've got a character in that. Some people don't know, and we're not gonna. We'll probably do a separate episode on the We Are Marshall movie, but Kate Mara's waitress character and Ian McShane's character, the dad of the football player that died in the crash, are supposedly completely fictional characters. They were just made to bring the movie along. But they have a couple dialogues in a restaurant that I have heard 50-50. I've heard that is designed and supposed to look exactly like Dwight's. I've heard, and I've heard I've heard another side say, no, it was designed and is supposed to look like Wiggins. Do we have an answer?
Oh, Wiggins, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes way back. Okay.
No, I heard it was Cam Sam.
How about Jim Spaghetti?
Jim Spaghetti. No, it was Thabit's.
Oh, that's
it could be Bailey's. It could be.
Could have been anywhere probably, but our dining room was pretty distinctive because of that big stone point in the front. It was a lot of open glass.
I think that's what's in the movie.
Because they could see the traffic going by.
Yeah.
It's.
I would just like to say that I, for one, would be honored to share that acknowledgement with Wiggins. I think that's a couple of great Huntington restaurants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
White's and Wiggins.
And Long's Parquet.
Long's Parquet. Who could forget about that?
Yes. It's so funny that today, drive-throughs. Obviously, I've done a couple episodes already where I admit, as far as lunch, if you don't have a drive-through, it's going to be hard to get me in there because I'm just lazy. But with a drive-in, back then that's the best thing. That's the best thing out there. I could definitely have seen myself there, but. Now, Dave, I don't know how you want to handle this, but I want to get I don't know if you have any, but any. I know you grew up around there. I know it can be delicate with Dad listening. If you're fine with Dad listening, that's fine. But I'd love to hear a couple. Here are some behind the scenes. No one's ever heard of hilarious stories that you could share, if you have any.
Well, I'm sure he can come up with some.
No, I thought you were going to come up with something.
You go first.
Oh, yes. We'll do a dueling thing. That's fine.
About the pigeons.
Oh, don't give yourself up. Oh,
pigeons.
Oh, you have the right to remain silent.
Oh, don't tell me that was the secret ingredient in the King Burger.
Well, I wouldn't say that nobody knows about this, but there's not that many people that would remember. But one of my favorite stories, without a doubt, maybe my single favorite story was, people who remember Dwight's know that the big sign out front with the King Burger up on top, it had a marquee on both sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
So one facing 9th Avenue and one facing 8th Street, and so it was a big task to go out there and come up with things to put up and to actually do the changing of. It was a lot of work, and my dad worked hard at that. But one time, before I was even born, I think this was probably in about 64, I'm guessing 65 maybe. He put on the marquee, if there was a better piece of chicken, the rooster would have it. Oh, and it caused a big stir. Did the paper take a picture of it?
That was Maurice Kaplan. He was a photographer at the
Oh, no. And some ladies complained. And so
one lady called the Hoisington, I think.
Oh, he's naming names.
City manager.
Complaints were lodged, and the sign had to be taken down.
A little bit too risque. And so he called me and said, Dave, I laughed about that, but I think maybe you ought to go ahead and change that.
But
Kaplan had brought me a picture, a glossy picture, and almost got picked up by the AP. But
it almost got picked up by the AP.
Yeah, so he gave me that 8x10 black and white glossy that he had taken.
Oh, there it is. That's what I was going to say. Not before photographs were framed and hung on the wall. And my entire childhood, there was a framed photograph of that in the office at Dwight's of 8th Street.
That's beautiful.
That's my hand to God.
50 years and we're talking about it. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Well,
And
I learned that if you want people to notice your marquee, you can't just put up good food, fast service all the time or try our food like Rodney. You got
Yeah, his dad would try to come up with sayings to put up on there, but our Uncle Rodney down at First Street, he would put up Husky, a meal in itself, and leave it up there for 3 years.
Husky.
My favorite was one time I put pick a winner, chicken filet dinner. That one also received some complaints, but we also got some compliments.
See, it's all about that's marketing. That's marketing. All right, now, Dave.
Well, I don't know if I got to share this one story.
I have one last one. Eat in your automobile. Be carnivorous.
Say it one more time. That's good.
Here, he said he put up eat in your car, or no, I'm sorry, eat in your automobile. Be carnivorous.
Love it. Love it.
That's classic.
All right, now Dave.
Here's the I gotta tell you this story before I forget about it.
Is it the pecan? What the hell is this pecan pie story thing?
Oh, that's a whole nother story right there. I mean, yeah. My dad and Pam were like, "What, the pecan pie story?"
Oh, tell them about Bill. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had a good friend that I was showing. I think I was my best friend in Huntington. I grew up with, and I was showing him the commissary, I think for the first time, and he was absolutely just bewildered, and he was in awe at being able to see the commissary. And I was showing him the walk-in and the freezer and where we made the onion rings and the coleslaw. And I opened up the refrigerator where we had the pies, and my friend ate almost an entire pecan pie. He's like, "Can we eat something
Is it Augustus from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?" Oh, I love the pie.
Jenny's son.
Oh no!
It was who?
I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure if I'm allowed.
Oh,
to say
throw
who
him
that
under the
was.
bus. We can edit it. What's his name?
Their name out there.
Who is it?
That was my friend Bill Jennings that I grew up with in Huntington. You know Bill?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. I remember going over to Bill's because he had a pool. Your personality not that great. But he had a pool
there when they lived beside Ritter Park.
There you go. And all right, hold on. Hold on, because I do. All right, we're gonna try this, folks. Do you think he'll get on the phone?
What's that? Oh, I don't know. No, I haven't talked to him.
All right. Well, we're pausing. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us. This will only take a couple seconds. This is either going to flame out and be a complete failure, or we'll be able to get Bill Jennings to hear about his wonderment with pie. One moment, please. All right. So then they'll put in a little sound effect there. And now we're coming.
Hello.
Hold on there, Snake. Just pump the brakes. All right. And okay. All right. Bill, are you there? Bill Jennings, are you there?
Hello, WG.
Oh my
WG.
Gosh.
I hear you loud and clear.
I am. I'm here with the Messigners, and we are talking about about Dwight.
Bill Jennings, are you kidding me?
Oh God, Davey.
How you doing,
Davey Messinger?
Jennings, is this Dr. Jennings' son? Is this William Mason Jennings III?
It is I. It is me. How y'all doing?
Oh man.
What's
going on?
We're walking down memory road, and
I was telling from them about you eating an entire pecan pie in the commissary. Remember that?
No,
Right?
that is not an exaggeration. That is not an exaggeration. He opened up the door to the walk-in, and I saw it was like a kid in a candy store. It was a kid in a pie store, and I saw the pecan pie. I took the whole thing, and I ate the whole thing. I ate the whole thing right there, and I was sick as a fool.
Oh, man.
Sick as a dog, and I still can't. I can't even really look at a piece of pecan pie still. So,
Why you just couldn't stop? That was it.
no, it was there. It was there. We had been down to a movie. I don't have any idea what movie, of course, but I think we had. I don't know if we had ridden our bikes or we had ridden our skateboards, but we had gone downtown.
We were on our skateboards that day.
We were probably skateboarding and came back, and it was a beautiful sight to see. I had to look past all the freshly breaded onion rings to get to the pies.
All right, Bill. Anybody who had braces in the 70s, 80s, they know your dad. And was he not feeding you? Did you not?
Oh, yeah.
It's troublesome.
It had nothing to do with hunger. It was just pure gluttony. It was just pure gluttony. It was eating out of Borden. Davey's heard that term before.
Well,
I've always been known as the big eater. To this day, really. One time, Bill may remember this. He was in my third grade class, and Bill knew my mom very well. He does a great impression of her, yelling for me from. She would go out on the back porch and yell for me, and I'd be over across the alley at Bill's house. Bill, let's hear it.
Davey!
Oh, Bill, I got to go home. That's my mom calling.
Yeah, just alone.
She did. My mom was a great singer. She headlined with the Woman's Club. What was it called, Dad?
Gay capers.
Capers.
They had to drop the capers.
My mom sang to Keith Albee. How many times? My dad actually performed in drag as an infant.
Oh, Lord, this conversation is drifting.
Baby infant doing capers on the stage there at the Keith Albee.
Wait.
You've lost control, WC. You've lost control.
Hold on. I'm taking my lasso out. I heard something about your dad in drag as an infant. What the hell are you? What? What?
Yeah.
Give it to me one more time, because there was a lot there.
That was in Capers. The Woman's Club used to put on an annual show called Capers there at the Keith Albee Theater.
Okay.
And my mom was a big part of it, and she was a big singer and always performed. And they talked, my dad and another, was Mom out there with you? They sang, no, it was 4 men. It was the husbands of 4 women in the Women's Club. Yeah. And they had rehearsed it and performed. They had costumes dressed up as little babies, with bonnets on and tights in white. And they taught them some ballet moves, and they got up there and sang. What was it, Dad? Babyface.
Right.
Let's hear a little bit.
Babyface.
Come on, let's hear it.
You got the cutest little baby face.
Hey, Davey, you got to tell the pigeon story. The pigeon story takes the cake.
What's the pigeon story?
The pigeon story. I mean, it's really just a legend. I'm not even. It's been denied, but
Can I say something?
hold on. Pam wants to. What is it?
I was just going to tell you what he would do. Wouldn't he? He got like a gun, maybe, just shot.
Pellet gun.
What?
Pellet gun.
A pellet gun, and go out there to every single place where they would pour the car in and shoot those pigeons because they were so nasty, and that's what he did.
Oh,
Davey, tell the story. It was hard to hear Pam.
I have a feeling when they took the pellet gun out to shoot the pigeons, they just went down to the peanut shop and hung out there, because that's where I saw them all the time.
Well, what happened was, apparently sometime, when my dad was in maybe his late 20s. You had the canopy out there, the with the 24 cars where you could eat in your car, as we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a lot of times a lot of trash and debris blowing around the parking lot. It was always a challenge to keep it cleaned up, and so we had a lot of pigeons. And they would, pigeons. What do pigeons do? I mean, other than get on your nerves. And so my dad shows up in his probably his 71 Oldsmobile station wagon, and as he pulls onto the lot coming in to manage the evening shift, he whips out a pellet gun and proceeds to start shooting pigeons off of the roof of the house next door to the parking lot.
Oh my God.
And so he picks off a couple of these 2 or 3 or 4 pigeons or something, and then goes inside and starts working his shift. And so he's up at the cash register a little while later, and these 2 ladies are checking out, and he, how was your meal today, folks? And they said it was good, and the food was good, and the service, but she had a complaint. And he said, well, yes, ma'am, what can I do for you? And she said, well, when we came in here, there was a madman out in the parking lot shooting pigeons. Is that a true story?
That's true. One of them.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, he said one of them landed right on the roof of his car.
It had a death
I
wish.
did get out and pick him up.
Oh, he did get out and pick him up.
Took him to the dumpster.
Tell me they did not end up in that fryer.
Well, they
No, that didn't end up in the fryer. But there's a fryer story that needs to be told.
I mean,
we got time for one more.
Son, Mike.
Go ahead. We got time for one more story. Go ahead.
Bill, I was going to let Bill tell the story. It was we were down at First Street, Dwight.
We were down at First Street, and I was a busboy. I was one of Davy's sympathy hires.
And I think you guys
for
were
summer work. He hired me under his management control.
Weren't
and
you
I was a dishwasher.
You were the only 24-hour restaurant, correct? I remember that place on First Street being the only place open 24 hours. Is that correct or no?
Yeah. First Street was open 24 hours, but 8th Street was usually 6 to 11, pretty much.
Yeah, because I remember First Street was whether it was midnight, 2, 4, 6, whatever. I mean, it was always open.
It was hopping. Yeah, First Street. A lot of times, a lot of week. We called it the third shift. You call it the third shift. You got the day shift, the evening shift, and the third shift. And the third shift would be the busiest of the 3 shifts a lot of times down at First Street.
Oh, definitely on the weekends.
Yeah, big time.
And everybody was in there smoking, and when they left, Davey made me wash the wallpaper to get the tar and the nicotine out.
It was
clean the nicotine stain.
It was terribly smoky.
It was very smoky in there. That is the 60s and 70s.
Well, I know, but people that are out all night and come in, they're usually smokers.
Yeah, we had the smoking section in the back there, and
I didn't sign up for cleaning wallpaper. I just signed up for washing dishes.
All right, so
we were working. We were working one day, and it wasn't the summer.
It was in the kitchen with Mike then.
I was washing dishes and doing what I was supposed to be doing. This must have been on one of the winter breaks because there was ice or snow, and cousin Mike came in the back door, the door straight into the kitchen, and he had a snowball, and he put the snowball in the fryer. And I don't know if you've ever put a snowball in the fryer, but it explodes.
Wow!
And there was a snowball explosion of grease all over the kitchen.
Oh my!
Big Dave's never heard that one. It didn't go well. Let's just say the experiment didn't go well.
Oh my gosh! You guys were out of control, but all fair in love and food. So, well, hey, I think you guys have provided so many great memories for everybody, and you're on the Mount Rushmore of restaurants. For everybody out there listening,
No, we're on the.
On the south side.
Yeah, no, we're up at the knob. We're on the knob.
there. Yeah, I didn't say you were on the front of Mount Rushmore. You're on the other. You're on the backside. Where no, I'm just kidding. Of course, I'm kidding. But yeah, for everybody listening, if you're on a platform where you can comment, send questions, your memories, your feedback, we love that. Send it over to us. The website, HTSTimeMachine.com. Check out our other episodes. We've got tons of episodes about other places and events in the Huntington Tri-State area that if you used to live here, currently live here, I think you're going to love. I truly appreciate everybody on this call for joining me. This has been a blast. Did you guys have a good time?
Had a
Great
great
time,
time,
WG.
WG.
Yeah,
thanks
thank you so
for
much.
having us on the program.
You bet. Well,
It was our pleasure and our privilege. Thank you.
Yeah.
we loved having you.
WG.
So, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna sign off so you guys can no pun intended, digest all of this material that we've given you. And again, Dwight's still open. St. Albans, get up there and grab yourself a King burger. So, all right.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. Absolutely.
Husky feeling itself.
On behalf of the cast here today, thanks for tuning in, and we are out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia tri-state area. If you have a memory you would want WG to talk more about, just send him an email at memories@htstimemachine.com or post a comment on the Time Machine Facebook group page. Did you like this episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it. And be sure to let Realty Exchange know that you like the podcast as well. Their contact information can be found in this episode's show notes.